Hi guys, welcome to this video. I hope you had a great start to the new year. I took a little bit of a break from YouTube for the last few weeks, but now I'm back in full swing. If you're enjoying my content, please make sure to hit up that like and subscribe button down there. It helps my channel and I really appreciate your support. For this year, I decided I want to also add a few shorter videos where I share some really useful tips and tricks with you that will make your life much easier in the field and behind the computer. If you're enjoying these kind of shorter videos where I just share one little trick with you, please let me know in the comments and I will make sure to make a lot more of them in the upcoming weeks. I've also finally launched my one-on-one sessions where you can book limited spots where we can edit one-on-one one of your pictures or go through any questions you might have that you want me to answer you on a one-on-one personal basis. If that's of interest to you, make sure to check that out down there in the description. For today's topic, I thought I'll show you how you can easily add a bit of canvas to your pictures. Because sometimes you take an image, it's almost perfect, but the bird is just a little bit too high in the frame or too low in the frame or too far on the right or too far on the left. And you just want to add a little bit of canvas to the top or the bottom of the image, for instance. That can be quite easy if the background doesn't have any texture. But at other times it can be almost impossible if you're trying to clone like a really busy background or part of a branch. And I want to show you a trick where you can easily add canvas to your image in like 2 or 3 seconds, no matter what the background looks like, and you will get fantastic results every single time. So before we jump in with that, remember that you can also check out my masterclass down there in the description where I share all my editing secrets and tips and workflow with you and teach you exactly how you can make your images look absolutely amazing. So check that out and we're jumping into the image. So you can see one of my recent Rainbow Lorikeet images, and if you want to see exactly how I took this image, check out the video that I linked up here on the right for you. So I've opened up this photo in Photoshop, and for us to do this, we actually have to open the image in Photoshop. But even if you like editing your images in Lightroom, for instance, you can simply do all your edits in Lightroom and then quickly just put this image in Photoshop to add a little bit of canvas and then finish up with it. So you don't really need to know any Photoshop to be able to do what I want to show you today. Whenever I make any changes to my images in Photoshop, I like to do it on a new layer. So I'm simply going to make a copy of the background layer by grabbing the background layer and dragging it onto the little plus sign, letting go, and that creates a copy of my background. So let's say we want to add a little bit of canvas at the top. So I'm just going to go to my crop tool and I'm just going to extend a bit of canvas. And the technique most of you will be familiar with is that you grab the clone tool over here on the left hand side. You go to 100% opacity, 0% hardness, and then you just grab parts of the background and kind of fill in the gap up there. And this can work quite well, and it's a good technique if the background kind of has no texture like here or just a little bit of texture. But what happens if you actually want to add a little bit of canvas at the bottom? Could you use the clone tool? I don't think so. I think that would look really funny. So let me show you. So let's say we want to crop it at the top, but we actually want to add a little bit of canvas at the bottom of the image. If I try to add anything with the clone tool here, that would just look really weird. There was no way in the world I could actually make this look nice. Nothing would look quite right. This area here on the right I could add, but then with all these branches with the flowers, if I tried to clone, it would just kind of look a bit silly and not quite right. This would just never look right. So what can I do? Let me go back. I go up here to the marquee tool. I'm going to select a decent chunk of the bottom of the image down here. Then I go up here to the move tool. What does? It puts a box around my selection that allows me to move this selection. So if I click on this box and hold down the shift key and pull down, I can stretch the canvas off the image a little bit. And now I've actually been able to add a little bit of canvas in this almost impossible circumstance with all these different branches and everything going on, and it took me literally 2 seconds. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? This is a really cool way how you can add canvas if you have busy backgrounds or something weird going on in your image and you just want to add that little bit of canvas, and it's just impossible to clone. The only thing you have to be careful with this technique is you do not want to grab any part of the bird, because if you grab some part of the bird, you're actually then stretching out the bird, and we really don't want to do that, do we? No. And the other thing is, up here, when there's no texture in the background, you can go quite aggressively and pull this up a fair bit, and when we zoom in, you can start to see the pixels being stretched a little bit maybe, but overall this still looks pretty good. So while this works really well and you can actually stretch out a fair bit of smooth background, you have to be careful with busy background like we had at the bottom. So let's try and add a little bit more canvas at the bottom. So if I select a decent chunk here now and stretch this down, you can see this is actually not working anymore because the pixels are stretched too much now. So if you have a lot of texture or branches in your picture, you have to be careful, and you can only stretch it for maybe a centimeter or two. But anything with texture, you have to be careful, because as you can see, it just gets stretched too much. So stretching out the canvas within reason, it's such an easy fix to an otherwise very difficult problem. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, have you run into this problem before? Did you need to add some canvas and you just weren't sure how to do it because you tried to clone it but it just wouldn't look right? Let me know in the comments. Also let me know whether you enjoyed this kind of short video format where I just share one little hack with you that will make your life a lot easier. Other than that, please make sure to like and subscribe to the video, and also check out my video Perched, my masterclass, my ebooks, and my one-on-one sessions down there in the descriptions. I'm really looking forward to connecting with you in this upcoming year 2021, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in one of my next videos very soon. Bye!